Before LGBTQ stories became more common in mainstream cinema, there were films that took enormous risks. Some challenged stereotypes. Some made history at the Oscars. Others gave queer people the chance to finally see themselves on screen. These aren't just great LGBTQ movies. They're the films that changed queer cinema forever. It's difficult to understand just how revolutionary Victim was when it premiered in 1961. At the time, homosexuality was still illegal in Britain, and most films either ignored LGBTQ people entirely or portrayed them as villains and criminals. But Victim did something almost unthinkable. It treated a gay man as a sympathetic human being. The film follows a successful lawyer who risks everything to expose a black male ring-targeting gay man. Audiences had rarely seen a story like this before. The movie sparked conversations across the United Kingdom and is often credited with helping change public attitudes toward homosexuality. More than 60 years later, Victim remains one of the earliest examples of cinema standing up for LGBTQ rights. Released in 1985, My Beautiful Laundrette was years ahead of its time. The film follows Omar, a young British-Pakistani man trying to build a better future, and Johnny, his former school friend who becomes both his business partner and lover. What made the movie groundbreaking wasn't just its gay romance. It was the way it combined sexuality, race, class, and identity into one powerful story. At a time when LGBTQ characters were often reduced to stereotypes, My Beautiful Laundrette presented a relationship that felt real, complicated, and deeply human. The film also helped launch the career of Daniel Day-Lewis and received international acclaim for its bold storytelling. Today, many critics consider it one of the most influential LGBTQ films ever made because it proved that queer stories could be intelligent, layered, and part of mainstream cinema. Long before Asian LGBTQ cinema became widely celebrated, Happy Together broke new ground. Released in 1997 and directed by Wong Kar-wai, the film followed the turbulent relationship between two men far from home in Argentina. What made it revolutionary wasn't just its gay romance. It was the way it portrayed love, heartbreak, and loneliness with a level of artistry rarely seen in queer cinema at the time. The film earned international acclaim, won major awards, and proved that LGBTQ stories from Asia could captivate audiences around the world. Today, Happy Together is considered one of the most influential queer films ever made. Few LGBTQ-related films have been as controversial as Cruising. Released in 1980 and starring Al Pacino, the movie follows an undercover police officer investigating a series of murders within New York City's underground leather scene. Long before the film reached theaters, LGBTQ activists organized protests, arguing that it portrayed gay men in a dangerous and negative light. The controversy became so intense that the movie attracted national headlines and sparked debates about representation, stereotypes, and Hollywood's responsibility toward marginalized communities. While many viewers still criticize the film today, its historical impact is undeniable. Cruising forced mainstream audiences to confront LGBTQ visibility in a way few movies had done before, and it helped start conversations about queer representation that continue more than 4 decades later. For better or worse, Cruising changed the history of LGBTQ cinema. For decades, lesbian romances in cinema often ended in tragedy or punishment. Carol helped change that tradition. Set in the 1950s, the film follows two women who fall in love despite the social expectations of their era. What made Carol so important was its tenderness. Instead of focusing solely on suffering, it allowed its characters to experience desire, hope, and genuine connection. The film received widespread acclaim and became a landmark for LGBTQ storytelling because it showed that queer relationships could be portrayed with elegance, dignity, and emotional complexity. When Moonlight won the Academy Award for Best Picture, history was made. The film follows a young black man through 3 stages of his life as he struggles with identity, masculinity, and sexuality. What made Moonlight revolutionary was its willingness to tell a deeply personal story that challenged stereotypes about race, gender, and queer identity. Audiences connected with its honesty and emotional depth, while critics hailed it as a masterpiece. The film's Oscar victory sent a powerful message that LGBTQ stories not only belonged in Hollywood, they could stand at the very center of it. Before drag performers became household names, The Adventures of Priscilla, Queen of the Desert brought drag culture into mainstream cinema. The film follows 2 drag queens and a transgender woman traveling across the Australian outback in a brightly colored bus named Priscilla. While it's filled with humor, music, and unforgettable costumes, the movie also tackles prejudice, friendship, and self-acceptance. For many viewers in the 1990s, this was their first positive exposure to drag and transgender characters. The film helped challenge stereotypes and proved that LGBTQ stories could be entertaining, emotional, and commercially successful all at the same time. Based on a true story, Boys Don't Cry introduced many audiences to the experiences of transgender people. The film tells the heartbreaking story of Brandon Tina, a young transgender man navigating life in rural America. While the movie is difficult to watch because of the violence Brandon faces, it forced viewers to confront realities that had often been ignored by mainstream media. The film earned critical acclaim and brought discussions about transgender identity into public conversations around the world. Its impact continues today because it reminded audiences that representation isn't just about visibility. It's about telling real stories that matter. When Shortbus premiered in 2006, it immediately became one of the most talked about LGBTQ films of its generation. Set in New York City, the movie follows a group of people searching for love, connection, and self-discovery while navigating their complicated relationships. What made Shortbus so groundbreaking was its decision to portray with an honesty rarely seen in mainstream cinema. The film sparked controversy around the world and led to censorship in several countries. But beneath the headlines was a deeply human story about loneliness, intimacy, and the desire to connect with others. Director John Cameron Mitchell challenged audiences to rethink how it could be portrayed on screen, and in doing so, helped expand the boundaries of queer storytelling. Nearly 2 decades later, Shortbus remains one of the boldest and most influential LGBTQ films ever made. Released in 1999, But I'm a Cheerleader became one of the most beloved LGBTQ cult classics of all time. The film follows Megan, a popular high school cheerleader whose family becomes convinced she's a lesbian and sends her to a conversion therapy camp designed to make teenagers straight. While the premise sounds serious, the movie uses humor, satire, and vibrant visuals to challenge harmful ideas about sexuality and identity. What made the film so groundbreaking was its willingness to openly criticize conversion therapy at a time when few mainstream movies were willing to address the subject. Even more importantly, it gave audiences a queer love story filled with hope, self-discovery, and acceptance instead of tragedy. Over the years, But I'm a Cheerleader became a symbol of LGBTQ resilience and remains one of the most influential queer comedies ever made. Don't forget to subscribe, check out my other LGBTQ movie videos, and if you'd like to support the channel, join the membership linked in the description below. Thanks for watching, and happy Pride Month!